Hello folks, this is Marcus again. The first thing I would like to say in this tutorial, I apologize because there are many days, perhaps weeks, that I don't record any tutorial over here, and it is because I'm working a lot and I'm not having the time that I planned before to record those tutorials. But my expectation is to get back that and then start doing more tutorials like I was doing before. Okay, no excuses anymore. Let's go and jump into today's tutorial. So as you can see over here, we are going to create some empty states. The name of these states is empty states. So we have here some situation where the user tried to accomplish some task, and then the system was not working properly, or the connection got wrong or something like this. And then we need to know how to treat those situations. And here we have some sort of situation. It's kind of similar, but in another context. Here we have some application where there isn't any information added. For example, this application, I name it awesome note, and the user can make notes over here, text notes, and then when there is no notes added, the user will see this feedback. And it's important to mention that we have 4 different kinds of empty states here. We just got title and text. Here we have one illustration plus title and text. Here we have title, text, and a button, providing to the user one more level of interaction so the user can try again. And here, lastly but not least, the user has this illustration, title, text, and the button I talked before. So here we can mitigate the pain the user had. We can explain what's going on, and we provide some way of recovering from that problem. And it's important to mention too that we never blame the user. Even when the user did something wrong, we never blame the user. We apologize and we try to offer to the user some way to recover from that situation. Here we have the same logic. We have some situation like, oh, you didn't add any note yet. And then we have title, text, here illustration, title, text, here illustration. I'm sorry, title, text, and a button, right? And here illustration, title, text, and button. This button, normally we haven't used this button so far. It's named ghost button, and it works like a secondary button. Normally we have some big and filled button down here, and in this case it's like secondary, not the main button. So okay, so let's jump into the entire information. I want to show you all the things we are going to do for this tutorial, and I organized it a little better, my way of explaining things for you guys. So here we have this summary. What is this? Empty states are pages with nothing to be displayed. So there is no information to be displayed because the user didn't enter any information yet, or the system is broken, the connection got some problem, things like this. So empty state, empty. When does that happen? First use of an application or feature. User cleared the information that was there. There are no results to display. For example, when we are trying to search for something, but what we typed before didn't match with the information that the system has. Or in error situations, what are the recommendations to solve this problem? Explain the problem to the user, like I said before, what's going on. Talk to the user, talk the user's language, it's important. For example, if I'm using Duolingo is more friendly, more kind. Let me see which more that I can say about Duolingo over here. Duolingo is more playful, you know, more cute. So I have to use my texts, my illustrations to tell this story. So explain the problem, talk the user's language, offer solutions without leaving the page, like I showed you before. For example, having a button, perhaps 2 buttons, 3 buttons, I don't know, another sort of interactions, but avoid to make the user go to another place in the application, solve the problem over there and then come back. Or, for example, tell the user go there. You know, you got my point. Some types of empty states, we can work only with texts like I showed you before. We can work with texts and buttons, links, text, links, buttons, and illustrations. So we have a lot of different cases. And here I brought some inspiration. I went to Google and I Googled some empty states. The first one, it is, if I'm not wrong, Dropbox screens. Let me get closer so you can see better. I apologize because the quality of these images aren't that good, but I believe it's possible to see. So see here, take your stuff anywhere, set up your Dropbox on your computer to get all your files on the go. It's like more a flow, right? I wanted to bring it here to show you how to work with title and text, illustration, title and text, illustration, title, text, and a button to help the user. So we have many different ways of working with those empty states. And empty states, why are those screens empty states? Because much probably the user just installed the application or are just using Dropbox for the first time or didn't have any uploaded file yet. So it's possible to help the user with those information rather than using something like just a phrase or a code coming from the back end, for example. And here I have more examples. I have this example here, really cute. You have no emails. So some application, some email application, and it's a metaphor. And in this metaphor, because pretty much before, people, they used to communicate through mail, not email, electronic mail. They were communicating through mail. So this mailbox, this metaphor is used on digital applications. So no mail inside of here, and there is a small animal inside of this place here, squirrel grabbing a nut. I don't remember the type of nuts the squirrel is grabbing, but anyway, you got the point. So I can explain to the user, well, you have no emails because anybody sends you an email. The second one here, we have this illustration that can explain in details that something wrong happened. I don't need to read all the information. If I look at this product illustration, I can realize something technical is damaged, something technical is broken, something technical has some sort of problem. So it's possible to look here and skip all those information and jump into this retry. If I want, I can read, see, oh no, no internet found. Check your connection or try again. So I use this product illustration. I use this language, this voice and tone. It's a little more friendly. And then I provide some button to recover, to retry. And here we have another type of situation. No item saved, so I can use this dashed dotted line to have this sort of metaphor to demonstrate like, oh, there is nothing here. No item saved for later, not quite ready to buy. Save it here until you are ready, view the cart. So empty states, we can work this way. Okay, so let's play a role over here, right? Because normally I just jump into the tutorial and I start doing, but my intention here, I want to bring more information, more ways of organizing better our work, to provide a little more of context as well. So those things, they are important, really, they are. Trust me. Some of you guys over there, you might think like, oh, I don't want to know any information. I just want to jump into Figma's file and then start crafting my stuff. But trust me, it is important to have a little of understanding about business, about the requirements, about things that are important before we start designing screens, before we start doing components and so. So briefing is like the problem, is the information that the client or the team, the stakeholders, they provided us with this briefing. So we need to know what we are going to do. Sometimes the briefing arrived ready to start doing. Sometimes we need to go and brief the people that we are trying to get information from. So let's see, briefing. Notes app. Let's suppose we are working in a small startup and this startup is building up this Notes app, right? And then normally we do entire flows, but sometimes we need to draw small things because the small things are important too, like I demonstrated a couple of minutes ago, right? And here, let's suppose that we are designing an empty state message for a connection error with 3 variations. Only text, I showed you, text and illustration, text and button, text, illustration and button. So this first case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sort of situations, right? And then inside of this briefing, we have another type of empty state, like I showed you before too. Design an empty state message when there is no notes added. Only text, text and illustration, text and button, text, illustration and button. So we have 4 more to design, right? So let's go a little down. So when I start doing things, I start designing and then I separate that first illustration or design and then I go to the next. I do some variations, then I go ahead, I change a little, then I go ahead, then I try to do something a little different, and then I go. And after I did a lot of things, I look back and I see my first ideation, and normally I don't like. I go like, oh, that wasn't so good. And that's normal. It's part of the design stuff. Normally we don't like the first ideation. It's totally normal. So our application, like I said before, our briefing, we are building up some app for notes, text notes. And then let's start with illustrations. Draw some little papers and then, you know, we can use those papers to illustrate what's going on. But this first one doesn't have personality. This second one doesn't have personality. Third one doesn't have personality because our application is more fun, is more playful, and then I thought having some face. So here we got 2 eyes and 1 mouth. They are flat because I was thinking about when the connection is broken, for instance. And then I went down and I started changing slightly. See this order, the way I started and how I finish it. I was here trying to make this sad face, and then I change it. I draw it some sockets and plugs, and then here I am trying to cover that situation without connection. Here I'm trying to cover the situation where the user didn't add any note yet. So we are covering both of them, right? So I want with you draw all those variations. I want you together with me, of course. We are going to design, because my idea here in this channel is bring a little of illustrations too. I don't want to exclusively do tutorials talking about components, interface, and patterns and things like this. It's important, I like to talk about this, but the product design stuff, there are more things to cover, like knowing how to do illustration, knowing how to do icons, knowing how to work with design system, and having a little of expertise in business and things like this. So I want to gravitate towards those things too, around those things too, right? And then let me know if you like this approach or not. I want to know, I want to get your feedback. So let's design these illustrations together. All right, so I'm gonna show my UI, my interface. I want to hold this group over here. Let me see where I can group it. Not group exactly, but I want to lock like this. So I won't do any mistake clicking in parts that I don't want to select. So let's start with this one. How can I design something like this? This is small element. Let's see what we can do together. All right, so I really like to use the pen to this one here. We can open it here or press P to select the pen. Then we are going to click here. See, press and hold Shift, so we can go this direction. If we change, we can change the direction in degrees, like 90 degrees, 45, Y, X, whatever. If we release Shift, we are free to design this way. But if we press and hold, we will constrain, right? It's good. Press and hold like this, click here. Then we can go down, click here. Don't be concerned of if we are going to go like perfect, because we can change that later. See, if I click like this and then this, I can go crazy like, oh my god, how can I fix things now? It's easier. If I click out like this, I can click again, press enter. So I'm free to move my anchors. So I can click this one here, and then I can move like this. Patiently, I can press and hold Shift as well, and then I can have my form, my shape, the way that I want. See, it's pretty similar, right? And then here, I will zoom in. I can press and hold Ctrl. Then I scroll my mouse. Scroll like this, scroll in, scroll out. Then I go really closer. I press P again. I click here. Press and hold Shift. I will move like this. Click here again. Go down and click here. You may think like, oh, but this is not the right shape. Press V. So pressing V, we get this tool, move. And then we can select this point, press and hold Shift and select this point. We can go to our keyboard and move using our arrows, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow. You can go this way. Okay, it's pretty similar, right? And then we need to have these lines inside. Guess what? Click here, pen again. So click here, something like this. Press ESC twice, then press V. We can move things like this. What I did, it is press and hold Alt, press and hold Shift, then click and drag like this. Then release the click, the mouse, Shift, then Alt. Then you can go like Ctrl D to duplicate, and this distance will be considered. Ctrl D again. Let me see how much I have here, how much lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I can use, for example, do you remember auto layout? I can select many items over here if I want, and then I can go here. Let me see, press V, auto layout. See, I applied auto layout, so I can come here and I can increase the distance. I can even click here, see this little line. I can move this way. It's pretty similar. And about the distance, I can measure like pressing Alt, so I can measure the distance. See, 11 one side, 14 in the other side. I can go like this, something like this. 12, 13. I can diminish if I want, but not this way, see, because I'm trying to diminish the auto layout. It's important to select things inside of the auto layout. So I open it here, select here in the layers panel, so I can move a little less, a little more, can move things around like this, you see. But it's important to consider the auto layout. I'm gonna remove the auto layout for a while. So remove here, and then we have this frame. I can press Ctrl Shift and G sorry, to remove the group too. We can go to our keyboard and move things like this. Then we can measure. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it's important avoiding having broken numbers. Like here it's okay, any problem, but here see 0.5, it's not good really. Remove this constraint. If your chain is like this, click, open it, and then remove this 0.5. Let this thing only like this. Doesn't matter the exactly size, we are not keeping attention for this for a while. So now you see we can have things like this. Okay, it's pretty similar. Now it's time to increase the stroke size, something like 4, 5, yeah, something like this. So we can select all these lines and see if your lines, they aren't well aligned like this. For example, let's suppose you did something like this. We can click, press and hold Shift, and then click in the next one, next one, next one, and you can see this little blue icon. Or you can come here, more options, open it here, and then click tidy up, so things will be aligned. And now it's possible to see this little line too. Or here it's similar to auto layout, so we can do these adjustments, see, and then we move things around and we will have this. And now if you want to increase this shape, it's possible to select, press enter, and then we have this flexibility. I can select just 2 points, move a little like this, select these 2 points, move a little like this, and there is some difference. See, if I want to adjust this shape, I select, press enter, right? Then I select this point, I go up arrow, and I move like this. I select here, I go right arrow, and I move like this. right?
Aqui está Prime Video.
Pretty good. Oh, my Alexa is speaking out. I'm sorry. Then I want to make this corner a little round, right? I select, click out, select this shape, press enter. I can select here and type like 4, for example. See, it's a little different, right? Just like this. Then I can select this one here, press and hold shift, select this one here too. And was that true? Yes, I think so. Let me see. 4. I'm gonna go with 2. All of them I can select like this, press and hold shift, select like this, and all of them will be the same, like 2. And let me see, I can select all those lines over here. I can open this option here and change to round. See, it will be more beautiful. And here we got this problem. I don't want to have this corner so sharp, so I can open it here and type 2, for example, and I will work with the same standards that I was working. This sheet is a little chubby, so I will click here, press enter, select these points. I'm gonna go like this, right arrow, click out twice, then select those lines over here, move like this. Okay, it's similar. If I want to have more space, I can go like this, do adjustments, measure 24 by 24. Okay, I can select all my elements. Rather than 5, I'm gonna go with 6. Let's see what happens. Maybe 8. Yes, I like this. Okay, and now we have all these unnamed elements. So I'm gonna call line 2. It's not line, it's sheet. Maybe line, and line. So we got a illustration, right? So now I'm gonna group and I'm gonna call illustration for a while. Then we can change its name. The color, open it here and try to go with some sort of blue, some light blue like this. Cool. And then we can start doing variations. But here, see, this shape is a little bigger than here. It's not a problem because I taught you to select here. So we can increase like this if we want. Oops. Like this too. And then adjust this part here. It's all flexible. There is no mistake to solve this problem. And you can go like, oh, but this piece is too closer. So we can do like this, for example. Go down, select here, enter, select these 3 points, go down, 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 down. Problem solved. But only if you want to go this way. Okay? Cool. So we got this first part over here. But keep attention. See, if we need to increase its size, see what happens. The lines will be thin. See? Ctrl Z. If we need to diminish its size, the lines will be like this, too bold. So one solution for that, for example, we can duplicate this form. We come here, flat selection. It's like a vector right now. Let me see. No, it's not good yet. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z one more time. Let me see. Yes, a group. Now I go right click and I have this option here, outline stroke. Now we got shapes. If you click twice, see what happens. Line stroke, line stroke. It changed it. We should name again removing those strokes. I don't like it. Delete. 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 Delete 2. We are almost done, so I can show you what I want. Delete this one too. Why not? Okay, cool. And now if I diminish its size, see what happens. Things will be proportional, exactly proportional. Doesn't matter if I diminish its size or if I increase, things will be proportional, right? So have this in mind. So we are doing the illustrations. Let me make a artboard. Press A, draw something like this, name it as illustrations. If you want to have something a little more personal, go with some light gray. We can have some shadow, so click here, effects, open it here, type 16 over here, 16 over here. I like this number. 16 over here, too much. 0 here. Yeah, and that might be round too. For example, 16. See, it has a little more of personality when you go to show up your work. A little of space. So so I will let this one here out of the page. I will move with this one here. So we have this first part over here, right? Now it's time to go to the second one. This one is just outline. This one is filled, right? Some fill, and then outline too. Let's go with this one. Another style of illustration. Let's duplicate, and then it's gonna be really easy. I will press P, click here, press and hold Shift, then click here, here. Let me zoom in to make it easier. Then click here, here. You see this tip, this guide. When I am in the same direction, I will see this red guide. So I can connect things easily. Now I can press enter. I will adjust. I can move a little up. Here too, a little up. And it's perfect. Now I don't want to have any fill. I'm sorry, any stroke. So I click here. I remove the stroke, but my shape is still here. Now I click fill. And now I'm gonna call it background. And now it's time to move down like this. But I want to have this shape inside. So let me make it sure. Yes, I just hide and I show, hide and show. So I can see where I am. I will open this arrow and I will move my background under the sheet, but still inside of the group, right? Because now they are part of the same thing. Click out twice, and then if I click and move, I have this option. But gray, it's not my color. So I will open, I will click here, I will pick up the same blue, and I will make it a little darker or lighter. Let's see, lighter is better. Yes, a little lighter, like this. Okay, I'm trying to use the same sort of shades, right? So even a little darker like this. This one here, a little darker. Yes, something like this. And I could even play a little bit with this little part over here, doing the same approach. Click here, then here, then here, then here. See, I didn't measure perfectly. I press V and I can move like this. I will apply some fill, remove the stroke. I will pick up the color from here and I will make it a little darker, like this. Now I'm gonna call like ear, something like this, little ear. And then I will move into this. I don't like, actually, when I see, I don't like, so I can move a little up. See, we can have this. Now I think that I like more. I can select it here, then I can make the corners a little round. I don't know if I like, I'm being sincere here, being honest. Let me zoom out so I can see better. Yeah, didn't like, I'm sorry guys. Now let's go to the next one. Now it's time to do this one. So here we got outline, outline and background color, and here only color without stroke, right? So it's easy to do so. You can copy this one here as a reference. We can click twice here to remove this part. This part here is okay, it's line, right? But not stroke, it's a shape because we make that conversion before, right? We can delete this one too. And then we click twice here to get into this group, press V, and let's draw this part here. Zoom in is always good. Then we can go really closer and make the adjustments. Oops. Press B, come here. I will pick up this blue and then I will start changing the color from this blue. Remove the stroke. See, it's not perfect. In this case, we can go zoom in, click twice, twice again, click in this point. When we move, see, it's similar now, it's closer. Then zoom out, zoom in, try to zoom in as much as possible. Then we move like this, and things are this way. We need to move here, kind this. I want to have the same shade of blue, the same tone of blue. It will be better. Let me see, zoom out. Yes, cool. If you want to have some sort of variation, you could duplicate, for example, click twice, twice again, select those parts over here, go with 2, maybe 4, so we can make things round. In this part, I prefer to have this sharp corner, right? And here for 2. Let's see what happens. So it's cool too. A beautiful variation, right? This type of illustration is named flat illustration. It's modern, still modern, not so fresh, let's say this way, because flat illustration appeared for the first time, I think, about 2015, 2016, something like this. But it's still used, fresh, cool, and so. Okay, let's make one more example with these little faces. Let's see, let's play this way, what happens. So we can duplicate, drag in, I press and hold Alt, and then I drag around. See, I can make a lot of copies. Ctrl Z, Z, Z. Okay. Now it's just deleting this one. I can delete this one. I select this one and this one. I move a little down like this. Then I select this one and I diminish its size. But see what happens. I am deforming the shape, see, and I don't want it to deform like this. Control Z, Control Z. What I have to do, I have to press enter after I select that, and then I move these 3 points like this. Press ask and ask again. Now I can click twice and I duplicate, and I will have something like this. See, I can play. Now that you know how to solve this problem, we can go like this, we can go like that, but in the end of the day we will have our shape really well done. Cool. So it's a sort of sad face. Yes, slightly different comparing with what I did before, but still the same approach. Cool. Remember the briefing. Let's go to the briefing. Notes app, right? We got this Notes app. We are designing some empty state message for a connection error with 3 variations. Only text, text and illustration, text and button, text, illustration and button. So we are in the briefing yet. So here we are going to invert this little ear, and yes, let's see what happens. I'm gonna select this one and move a little down, duplicating. I will show my UI again. So I will click here twice, right? I selected the background. I have this little ear over here. Let me name it. I will select background, shift, little ear, shift. I selected both of them. Then I'll click here, still pressing shift, and I will rotate. See what happens. I go like 5 degrees, not 5, maybe 15. I go 15 and 15 and 15. In each 15 degrees, I think so. Yes, but see, it's a little strange, let's say this way. I will press Ctrl Z, and then I can rotate like this too, see? Freely. Or I can group both of them like this. I'm gonna group, and now it's gonna be easy to flip. See, I can press Shift T and V, and then I press Shift T H, shortcut, and then I grab this sad face and move a little down to bring a little more of personality, to have this big head, this forehead, and then I will do this. Press and hold Shift to go in angles, like I said before. I believe it's 15, 15, 15, but never mind. So now I got this sad face. Oh, poor shit. Then I will go from this one here to the next one. It's round and round here too, and we have these wires, plugs, sockets, all the things. So let's do it. Just duplicate. And let's make it's already round, right? Not so round, but still round. We can make it a little rounder, a little more round, like H. Let's see what happens. Yes, cool. And here H2. And to make this sad face, I prefer to make one more line because it's easier to change the direction and so of a line. So draw a line like this, press ask, press V, then you move your mouse like this, you will see this dot, you click and move a little up. You can press and hold Shift to help you to go straight to the top. Then we press V, we press and hold Ctrl and click once here. See? As easy as that. Then with this dot, this anchor selected, we can come here and select the last option, mirror angle and length. So we can select one and the other side will reflect. The same thing I'm doing here. I can press and hold shift to help me to be in the same angle. Then I need to do the adjustments like increasing its size, something like this, H, I think so. We can open it here and change to round, right? We can convert like outline stroke. We can pick up the same color like this, whoops, like this, and we can delete this one here that I don't want to use anymore in this illustration. And now I got this sad face. See, it's pretty similar. The mouth is a little bigger. I don't see any problem in this, but if you don't like, we can diminish the face a little bit, but for me that's okay. Alright, then we have this kind of plug and this wire. Let's do the wire and the plug. Let's start doing, press P, click like this, like this, like this, and like this. Cool. Press P, select these points over here and do something like this. 20 will be enough. Then let's see, we will click out, press P, click like this, click like this, click like this, and like this. Now let's apply fill, let's remove the stroke, let's change the color, whatever color for a while. Cool, press V, come here, press and hold Ctrl. Let's make this sharp corner into a smooth corner, round corner, like this. Then we can move. I can press and hold shift and we are going to have some shape like this. I can click and move to have something like this, right? Then I will change slightly what I did before. I can do this. I will make a rectangle, I press R, and then I draw something like this. Then I go closer, I press V, I try to have some sort of snap, you see? It's not fitting well, it's a problem, I have to fix it here like 13, here 30, something like this. Now it's gonna be easier to make things fit, you see? Broken numbers aren't cool. Now I can use my round corners like this to bring a little of personality. Can move things this way. It's gonna be cool. Okay, and then I'm gonna duplicate this one here. Let me start applying the right colors. Let me pick up the color from here. I'm gonna use some darker color, so I'm gonna create one more color like this. Here I can use the same color. I'm gonna duplicate this and make it darker like this. Then I can duplicate this. I can duplicate a lot of things. I will diminish it here because I diminish its size, and then, you know, like I showed before, I will duplicate this one here. It will be this sort of gray. I will make the plug something like this. Let's see the reference that I designed before. Yes, kind of. Not exactly the same, but kind of. Maybe. Yes, now I know the reason that I didn't draw the entire thing. I went like this because I wanted to show more, like a little piece out of the socket. Let me go with 2 here. I think that I will change the approach. I will do something like this. I'm gonna duplicate this shape over here. I'm gonna bring like this, so I have more flexibility, right? I will press enter. I will type 0 here. Yes, it has more personality according to what I like, what I think, what I believe. And I can even click twice here and make this part even rounder, more round. See, more flexibility. Let's see the reference. Yeah, something like this. Cool. I'm using not a lot of colors. Yeah, but if I use this color here, won't be cool. But if I remove that little part, yes, maybe something like this. You decide the way you want to go. So we have more room to play here, something like this. Yes, the beauty of the illustration, we can adjust, adapt, change. Yeah, something like this. We have volume, we have first plane, second plane, third plane. It's cool. Yeah, I don't know, I'm still thinking about. Yeah, it's part of the illustration process. Let me go maybe with something like this. I don't know, just trying. I think that I like. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for a while. Maybe another color here. I think that now I like more. No. Maybe a lighter color. Yes. Yeah, for a while it's okay. So we got this plug. I will group. Now all the little elements inside I will let with you, so you can organize and call the right name for each part. I'm gonna call this one here plug, socket, plug. Yes. Now it's time to the socket. I'm gonna duplicate this one, press Shift V, Shift H, so we have this inversion, and then we can, oops, it's not a group yet. Oh, yes it is. I don't know what happened. And then I'm gonna move these down behind the illustration like this, so I have this flexibility, right? Like arms. I could place things here in front or play like this, like arms. I can diminish like this because I didn't transform yet. Cool. And here too. But now I need to have not a plug, I'm sorry, not a socket, but not a plug, but a socket. So let me move like this. Yeah, something like this. And then I'm gonna use these parts, diminish like this, and we have what we need. As easy as that. So we got the plug and we got the socket. I still don't like the choice of colors, but we can deal with that later. Let's compare. See, maybe the colors over here, they are more aligned. I don't know what's annoying me. Maybe the contrast. Yeah, maybe the contrast. Let me think about the contrasts. Maybe this color should be darker, 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 and darker here. I think that now I prefer more contrast, right? And then I can convert, select this one and this one, right click. I need to make it outline stroke. After this conversion, I got my strokes. Actually, all the things should be outline stroke. Here and here, outline stroke too, because I don't think that I'm going to change a lot of things. So here we could group things together, and then I will let that with you to name things properly. Let's do some variations, maybe something like this. We could place this part Shift V, Shift H. Select this one too. Shift V, Shift H. Oops, I'm sorry. Shift H. So we could place something like this too. If you want to make like arms, you can. If you want to make something separate like this, you can too. Or even something like this, you know, the connection wasn't possible. Yeah, variations, we have to test. This color here, same color here. Yeah, something like this. Cool. I can do one more variation. Let me organize better. I will increase its size, and then this variation is cool too. I want to have more room for improvement, so I will have 4 here, 4 here. Too much space. Actually, I will delete this one. It's pretty similar if we compare, right? Tidy up like this. Oops, select this one too. Now tidy up. Then we can diminish it here like this. Yes, a little of organization is always good. But here we have 3 because we don't have enough space, so it's not a problem. Oops. Let me tidy up something like this. Yeah, because this illustration is too big, so yes, some sort of organization. Yeah. Okay. Now let me make one more variation, and I think that I can even delete this one here. Why not? Now I can keep going with my ideation. Cool. And I want to have one more. I will do some slightly change like this. I just want to have something like this. See? It's cool. That could be something like this too. two wires that were about to connect, but for some reason the internet not working the way it should, and then the connection is broken. Tidy up. We can align by the center, move a little down. Cool. So this problem, let's come back. I will delete this one too. I don't want to anymore. The first part of the briefing, we have illustration. Then we will design buttons. Text is easy. It's not anything new that you don't know. We have never done together. So it's time to use the same approach. We will just change slightly the expression, right? The arms will be the same. We just will need to draw this little pencil to have the next one. So let's copy this one here. Click twice. I'm gonna start with the face. Click twice, Shift V, happy. And now here, let's press and hold Shift. Let's rotate this way. Let's rotate this way. Let's place more closer like this. Then you know how to see the distance here, distance here. I will let that with you. You decide what to do. So we got this is a smiling face. Let me see the reference. It's here. Grabbing a pencil. I'm gonna delete this part here. Delete. I can press and hold Shift and I can delete many of them at once. Here too, click twice. Then I press and hold Shift. So I can click here, 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 and here, and I can delete many of these shapes at once. Yes, something like this. I don't know. Yes, we can play for many times. So to make that little pencil, let's zoom in. Press P. Click here. Click here. Move here without releasing Shift, right? Move here and here without releasing Shift. We have this perfect shape. Cool. Then we need to have some point here. Press P. Then we click here. Move like this. Use Shift to help you to align better. Cool. Remove stroke, apply fill. Click here. Remove stroke, apply fill. Change the color to be different so we can see things better. Move a little up. See, it's not fitting the way it should. Let's see what we can do. Type 4 here. Not good yet. We need to work a little here. Select those points over here and move them a little up. You can press and hold Shift to help you. Yeah, something like this will be cool. See, it's not fitting perfectly. I will teach you in the future how to do this, but for a while I think it's okay, because when we go zoom out, like 100% will be something like this. So it's impossible to see the color, but for a while it's okay, don't worry. And the pencil will be something like this. I can draw a rectangle over here, for example. So the pencil is something like, see, 24.5. We should go only with this sort of numbers. See, now things they fit better. Click twice. Make round this part superior on top. Then we will pick up the color from here. Yeah, we need to adjust, placing things inside. It's gonna be a little hard, so I'm gonna teach you what I was avoiding. Select the shape, come here, go to preference, and then we have this snap to geometry, snap to object, snap to pixel grid. I will unselect this one here, and now I can move freely. It's good for when we are doing illustrations, but it's not so good when we are designing interfaces, so be aware. Like I said before, when we do illustrations, we have no necessity of going in pixels using grids, so it's free. We don't have a problem. We can play the way we want. I'm gonna duplicate this shape, press Ctrl D. I'm gonna go with this one here. I'm gonna use to have something like this. Like I said before, now we don't have any pixel grids or anything to go really right. Press Enter, go closer, and then move like this. Go to the other side, zoom in, and move like this. This point is too big. Click twice, and then we can move things down like this. Press V. Oops. Something like this. Press V, ask V, and then align it like this. Cool. Maybe a little lighter, using a lot of shades. Oops, not this way. I want this part to be like this part. Maybe increasing, making a little darker. Yeah, something like this will be cool. Select all of them, Ctrl G. Now come back here, open preferences, and select again, snap to pixel grid. It's important because we are going to design the interface. So place the pencil here. We can have something like this. We can increase the pencil size to be more cuter. I don't know if cuter is a right word, but to be more cute. Yes, friendly, cute, ready to be used. Select all of them, group, call illustration. Oops. Don't forget, then with time you go inside, you organize things like, oh, this is an arm, this is a background, this is a sheet, it's not a plug anymore, it's an arm, you know? Here, arm to name all the things the right way. I taught you before. I will not expend time here talking about this again because you have more time than I do recording this tutorial, so you can use your free time to make things better. If you want to make some variations, for example, oh, I want to change, like, to make something like this, why not? Let's see what happens. I can change, like I want to have the pencil here, make the pencil bigger, because like you said before, to have things more cute, maybe something like this. And let's suppose that I don't want to use one arm, I just want to use one arm. But here we have this part and this part, so too much information in the right side. So in this case I recommend you to get things back like this. Shift V, Then we move the arm that was behind. Yes, because we can balance. Now you see. Cool, using the same illustration system, the same approach. And the last one, let's suppose that we don't want to use any arm, we just want to have a pencil like this. We could use this pencil like this, and then I'm gonna show you really quickly how to make a little shadow. First, I need to change this color just to have a little contrast, and then I can click here, click here, and click here. Remove stroke, apply fill, apply some gray like this, and change it to, rather than pass through, change to multiply. Close, press V, select this pencil. You can cut and paste like this. Oops, what did I do? Cut and paste. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good idea, really. I thought that was like, oh, let's have some shadow, but now seeing better, I don't know if I like this. But this is some idea. Not good idea, but yeah. So for this reason, it's important to try different things so we can explore what we are doing. I could have used other colors, and that would be still good. Yes, let's stop here. It's fair enough. Okay guys, so we have this illustration. We are accomplishing our briefing, because we have one illustration for empty state when we have some connection problem, and we have one more when the user didn't add any note. The user haven't added any note yet, so we are covering what we need, right? Now it's time to design the interface properly, because we spent a little time to make the illustrations. Now let's have the page. We are working with atoms. See, we have one atom, the page itself. Then we have this space for the illustration. We have other atom over here, this rectangle. Then we have text. Good, let's make all of them. I have this page. I will design it here. Let's see, press A, design like this, 320. I don't care about the height for a while, it's not a problem. Then I'm gonna call page something like this. So the first atom is okay, right? Let me duplicate this. Now I delete all the information here inside. I change, I'm gonna call atoms. Cool, so we got this first atom, right? Second one, we got this shape here. Let me see the shape size. 2HH. I press R, I design like this, then I type 2HH. The size is not important for a while, so I have 2 atoms, right? 1, 2. Then we need to have this atom, it's a button. 154. We have this 154. No fill, only stroke. Maybe 2. Yeah. The height, I won't take care for a while. Let this like this. And I need to have label, right? Another atom. It is Roboto bold 12, all caps. Oops. Label Roboto do 11 12. Roboto bold 12. Okay, another atom. Cool. We need text. It's gonna be Roboto regular 16. But not all caps, lowercase, not uppercase, so be aware. So in this case, we can come here like I showed you before many tutorials ago. See, uppercase, we click here, right? And in this case, we need to remove the uppercase. It's not lowercase yet, it's as typed, so the way we type. It's not bold, but probably it's regular. And we got like this label, is that right? Text 12. As typed. Let's go to the next one. We got this title. It's an atom too. I didn't type here, but it's an atom. I should have this thing here. Atom. Like this, right? Atom. Title, it is 20 medium Roboto. As typed, much probably. So 20 medium as typed. Let's see. As typed. Cool. So we designed all what we need. Let things here for reference, right? Now let's go to the next stage. Let's copy this atom page. Let's go to the molecules page. Let's change its name. Molecules. Now things, they start getting closer to be together. It will be an atom too, no problem. So we will have a molecule joining title and text, and joining the shape and the label to have the button. But in this case, we can use auto layout. Do you remember? So I'm gonna remove the auto layout from here, ungroup. So if I select this label, I press Shift A, and now I'm gonna apply some color. So we can see all the parameters we got. I'm gonna apply stroke. It's gonna be black and 2. And I'm gonna increase like this. So when I click here, I showed you many tutorials ago. If you are not familiar with that, I recommend you to step back and go to the drop down tutorial, because here I showed how to set up these auto layouts in order to make good components. So I recommend you If you didn't see this tutorial, I recommend you to step back, turn around, and go straight to this tutorial. Okay, now we got this label over here. I'm gonna increase it a little bit, so I will align by the center. Fixed size, it's okay. I'm gonna hide this color. I'm gonna call this auto layout as a button. Label, cool. I don't have a background properly, so it's okay. Yeah. Now I'm gonna join title and text. Select the both of them, press Shift A. Now we have this auto layout. Apply some color just to see what we are doing. I'm gonna call text, something like this. Inside we have text properly, and we got title. But you might wonder, like, oh, but my title, that should be on top. It's okay, just select it here, press up arrow, so things are different. Cool. Then we align by center like this. We click in our auto layout and align by center like this too. Because when we open, I'm sorry guys, my neighbor, the little kid, is crying a lot, and most probably you are hearing that. I apologize for this. I'm going to close my window so this problem won't annoy you that much. I think so. Sorry about that. Really sorry. I'm coming back. Cool. And now we can keep going. So when I move things like this, things are going to be easy. So I can change the distance between text and title. I'm gonna call it title over here. Yeah, so we can change it here, or we can use that 8 pixels grid here too. Like, let's start with 8. Then we go like 8. See? 8 pixels grid. The same for here. Type 8. Oh! Then we click here inside, press and hold Shift, go up arrow. 8 pixels grid. We don't have to wonder a lot about this. Cool. And here we just need to hide, not remove, but hide the color. So now we got some molecules, right? I'm gonna select all of them here, some molecules, some atoms, like this one is an atom, this one here too, but here molecule and molecule, because I joined it to atoms, right? Now it's time to declutter a little, to organize things like this. Few container, just for a matter of organization. Yeah, cool. Let's go ahead. Now we got organisms. Let's see what is expecting for us. We joined it like here, 2 organisms. This one here, right? So if I'm gonna press Ctrl G again to remove auto layout in the group. Whoops, where is the button? I did something wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't need to do this. So if I just place those things together, like here, I have an organism, because see, one element, atom, 2 of them, they are together, molecule. One molecule here, one molecule here. If I join the 2 of them like auto layout, so I have an organism that I can use and use and use again. Cool. And then it's time to templates, of course. Let's duplicate this one here. Now it's time to go to other tutorials to grab things we did before. So let me see here, for example, This tutorial here is pretty rich. We have a lot of good information that we can use, but it's better to go, let's see, many tutorials ago. Not this one, navigation drawer, yeah, this one here. So I'm gonna copy this navigation drawer. Actually, I'm sorry, it's an app bar. So I want to have this, all this information here. Let me copy and paste in the current tutorial, like here. Cool. And then I will come back there and I want to have this navigation from here. I think it's more organized, not so much, but whatever, no mind. You know how to organize, how to make components, just in case we didn't make a component with this yet. So empty state, let's see, just paste. So we will name it Android navigation bar. Cool. Then let's set the page. So it's a page, right? Make sure it's a frame, not a shape. So now we will place things here inside, right? I can apply, just for a matter of improving the contrast, this color will be a little darker, so see the difference. Then I'm gonna bring to the page this thing. I'll click here in this white background, and then I will go to this section over here. Let's see, page, right? All the pages, they have grids. I will apply this layout grid. I will open it here and change from grid to columns. I normally, in mobile, I like to work with 4 or 2 columns. 2 is okay. Here I will type the margin, the space, right space and left space, 16. See, fitting well. And then gutter, I like to work with 16 too. So all the things will be well aligned inside of the 8 pixels grid. So this space here, actually, we can consider a placeholder for the images, right? Because we are making layouts. So think with me. Let's see what we can do. I can, for example, let's see, I will type a text here. I will call illustration, right? Press Ask, Shift A to make a auto layout. I will fill and apply the same color. Then now that I have my columns, my grid, I can align it here and here. I'm gonna go centralizing this. I will increase its size, right? Then I'm gonna call, clicking twice, I'm gonna call this element, let's say, I will call placeholder, for example, illustration, because I can have many different types of placeholders, right? And then inside I have a text that might be illustration or might be another thing. Not illustration, I can call, for example, to be more generic, image, because that might be a photo, that might be an illustration. Then I will make a component with this, right? And I can delete this one here. Cool. Oops. But I taught you before, it's not a good idea to work with the masters, so I will duplicate the difference between them. This one here, like you can see, I have 4 little diamonds, they are filled, and the instance, I have one big outlined diamond, right? I will cut the master from here. I will go to my components section, my symbol sections. Then I will create some section named like here. See, icon placeholder. That was my idea. I can use this same idea for images, for round images, for square images, and so. Now it's safe. I can use as much as possible, as much as possible. I can change to have the same shade of gray here and here, for example, because they are part of the same family. So it's important to have something like this so people can look and think, oh, I think it's not the final image, for example, right? Oops, I'm working with a instance. I don't want to work with any instance. I want to work with the real one. I will cut from here, not copy, and then I will place it here, and then I will name them the same way. I will change it here. It will be placeholder. Image rounds, more generic. This one will be placeholder image square, yes, or oval, whatever. You got the point. The color here, I want to have the same color. Yeah, 12 here, it is 16. That might be 12 too. Cool. So I have some placeholders. They are components that I can use to do layouts, but then I replace them for the real images. For example, let's suppose that I'm gonna copy this out of our page. Oops. I'm gonna hide the grid for a while. See, now let's suppose that I have this place, it's reserved to receive some image or illustration or whatever. I can select it here. I can run some plugin. Let's see. Oops, I go to plugins. You know plugins. I showed you before how to use some plugins, like here plugins. We got this Unsplash. It's a cool plugin with a lot of images. We can use them for free, and I recommend you choose this plugin. It's running, right? Make sure I selected this placeholder image square, right? And now let's suppose that I want to use some food over here. I just select it here. It's gonna be random, but see, that was a placeholder, right? And I have this text here. I could even use, I can change this color, and I could use some white color like this. I can increase its size like 16. I have a lot of flexibility. I can go bold if I want. I can go 20, right? So the placeholder is that, right? Because think with me, let's suppose that all images we are using, they are like with these sharp corners. But let's suppose that I want to go to the master. Let me return to the instance. Let's suppose that I have many images over here, right? One more, just to explore a little more my concepts I'm trying to tell you here. Cool. Now I want another one. So when you select and then you click again, it will be random. we can have many images, right? But let's suppose that I have many layouts, like let's suppose I have 100 screens, and all my images, my placeholders, they are with this sharp corner, and I wanna round corners. What I have to do, it is to go to the master, click, I select one instance, right? I go to the master, and here I change things, like let's suppose I want to have 16. And let's suppose that I want to have some shadow. Why not? Let's see what happens. Some shadow like this. 16, 16, and here it's gonna be 0. And some stroke, but not black. Some gray thing. See what happens when we select it here. We return to instance. All our design will have that same appearance. See? So we can use placeholder this way. And then when I need to, see, even here, right? So placeholder is powerful. We can use round placeholder, square placeholder. It's a component for real, right? So I can lay out all my stuff like this, illustration, image, and then when I need to use images for real, it's gonna be easier like this. I can change size, I have a lot of flexibility, but the component is still the same, right? I think that you got my point. Let me come back to the master, and I want to use the same approach we were using before. Return to instance, just like this. We got a stroke, it's not a problem. But see, we are using this grid, things are cool. Now it's time to show. It's an auto layout. See what I did. Let's call that content, for example. So we got this content, right? And then I can apply some fill so I can see what I'm doing, how I'm aligning things. See, for example, if things they were like this, I can, if that was needed, I could use one column here. I can use 2 columns, but see, if I click twice, I have another section here, like I showed you before one tutorial ago, right? This button too, I have colors, right? So I can have this control, and I can align things like this, and like this, and they are separate. I can align like this, like this, like this. See, all flexibility. Cool. Let's see the space. I want to use this part. I'm gonna ungroup, and I got app bar and status bar. So I will place exactly on top. See, when we work with 8 pixels grid, all the things, they fit perfectly. See here, the space is cool. We have 16 here, 16 here, here 15. I don't know why, but we can fix it because I did this tutorial many time ago and many things changed from that time until now. Let's see the reference exactly like this. So let's type app name. So we got, that should be more generic like I said before. Let's go to the master. We can call image here, because that might be whatever image here too. That might be illustration, that might be photo, whatever. So app name, image, title and text. Let me hide all those colors because you could see the sizes and so. Button, doesn't have a color. Cool. So we got, let me measure the distance, 8 pixels. Now I can apply even auto layout. See, Shift A, and then I have this flexibility to align things like this. I can go like 40, and then I make all the things go a little down using the 8 pixels grid like this. Then I can even remove the auto layout like this after I use it. Can remove the group like this. So now we got some templates. We worked in this first template, right? As you can see here. No, actually, this one here. Image, title, text, and label. Let's see. Image, title, text, and label. So we started by the end like this. Now it's time to copy. We need to have a bigger artboard like this. The other one, we are going to remove the image just like this, and we can select and centralize like this. This one here we can group to centralize better, right? Centralize it, then ungroup, just to centralize. Next one, illustration, title, and text. Once that we did the base for it, once we did the base, all the things, they are going to be easy without button. So in this case, I'm gonna copy this one and remove the button. And then group them, centralize them like this, and then ungroup. So image, title, text, image, title, text. We just need to have one more, title and text. It's gonna be the first one. And like I said before, templates, they are good because they can serve different proposals. For example, I can use for the two problems we need to solve in our briefing. I'm gonna show you again just to make that sure. I'm gonna come back with this color over here. Now you can see the template, right? And then after that, things are going to be cool. So we can use these 4 templates to solve this problem of empty state for wrong connection, problems with connections in general. And we can use this template to explain to the user that the user needs to add the first node. So templates are useful in this case, right? Okay, and we are going to use our illustrations, but I want to convert our illustrations into components. Why not, right? I should organize them better, to be honest, but I can make components without a lot of organization. I can do it just to demonstrate, but the right thing that was to organize all the things the way they should be, right? But for a while, I'm gonna go this way. Illustration. Then connection 1, right? I will copy this structure. Cool. Then I go this one here, illustration connection 2. Then I go this one here, illustration connection 3. Then I go to this one here, illustration. This is not connection, it is add node, something like this. Add node 1. I copy this structure, then I come here, illustration, add node 2. because illustrations, they can be components too. 3. Cool. So even those here I didn't like. It's not the case. It's not that I didn't like, but I preferred those illustrations here. But let's remember that I don't work for me. Like I don't like, I like. It's important to validate with users. It's important to show up to the team, devs, developers, stakeholders, other designers and people of product and so on, strategists and so, and then to get their feedback. So it's really important. But let's make illustrations with those here. Why not? Let's have the same structure. Illustrations. It's generic, right? Illustration note. Illustration. Generic one. I'm gonna go with this name, but if I create more illustrations, I need to think better about this nomenclature, right? Generic 2. We got generic 3. We are going to test all of them. And generic key. Oops, this one here. Where is that? I can't see. Now I see. Here. Illustration generic 4, right? And now let's make a lot of components. So select all of them. Click here. Be sure we are not going to create a component. We are going to create multiple components. It's really important. Then cut all of them from here. Actually, let me think better. I want to have some reference over here. So yes, I will cut. I need to cut. Then I go to components. I need to create some section named illustrations. I'm using this structure like trying to imitate a folder. You don't need to, but if you wanna, that might be cool. Okay, I need a bigger space like this. So now I can place all my illustrations into this space. I think so. Cool. Then I can grab a name like this and write here. Illustrations. Now that you know, you learned how to change these anchor points, it's gonna be easy for you. And here it's gonna be I don't know how to call this actually, but I will figure it out. It's gonna be placeholders, of course. Placeholder is the place that will hold some information in the future, but I needed to have this mark, this position defined on my layout, so in the future when I will place the right things over there, it will be easier. So let me come back to empty state, right? And now I'm gonna insert all the illustrations. And I have my sections I can try to find here, like illustrations. And then I have add node, connection, generic, right? Whoops, I don't wanna go there. Take me back to the place that I was. Empty state, assets. So I will click and drag like this. 1, 2. Actually, I can grab just one, right? And then I copy like this. I can apply auto layout. Then I copy again. I can increase it here to position better on the page, and then I just replace. I can close it here because they are instant. They have the same structure actually. So they have even numbers. See, number 1, I would change number 1, replace by the number 2, and do the same here. Number 1, I will replace by the number 3. Cool. And then I can increase again the size like this. And now I will copy like this, and I have more, but I have to open it here. It's not add notes. I have to go to connection. I have number 1. I should duplicate this one here, delete this one here, and delete this one here, because the first one is already inside of the same structure, if you know what I'm trying to say, because now they are part of the same 3. So connection 1, connection 2, and I duplicate from here and I change to connection 3. Cool. So I'm placing the illustration here as a reference, so the devs can see where the illustrations are. The other teams, they can open this Figma file and see, oh, I know what you did. I can see. Come back here, connection. It's gonna be generic now. We got the generic one. I'm gonna duplicate and remove, because those here, they are part of another structure. Generic 2. Let's duplicate generic 3. Let's duplicate, and we got the generic 4. Then let's increase the spacing like this, and we have our reference. Now, so we got templates, it's time to make the pages, right? Let's duplicate. So here I want to use some blue. All the alignment is done. I don't need to show up my grid anymore, not for a while. So I'm gonna not remove, be sure, just hide. Hide here, hide here, hide here, hide here. We have a lot of buttons. We have buttons we did before in our assets. See here, we have real buttons, because this button isn't a real button. Let's see, we got button ghost, for instance. Oops, yeah, we can use, let's come back to not components, empty state. Cool. Let me drag and drop this ghost button, because once that you did that, I can use, why not? It's a real button. And then I just need to adjust like 0 here. The label is label, everything is cool. If I need to increase its size a little, I just do this, it's okay, totally. Yeah. Then I will copy from here this button. I can click here twice, paste it here, delete this one, and it's okay. So component. Okay, now let's make the pages. I gave to this application this name awesome note. So let me copy from here and paste there. In your case, you need to type. Sometimes when this sort of things happen, yes, we need to come here and alt width. This is the option, alt width. I'm gonna change the color of all screens. It won't be black anymore, it will be blue. The same tone of blue, this blue here. Cool. Improve it a lot. I like this blue. I'm gonna copy this title here. Oops. Maybe one more oops. Oops. But not uppercase. Like this. Oops. Copy. Paste it here. Oops. And then we go there and we copy and we paste the same text. We are sorry, but we had some trouble. Verify your internet and try again. Many people, they don't like one word lost like this, but we have agreed, right? What we could do is something like this. I can force the text to go to the next line. Some people, they do that, some people, they don't like, but yes, it's important to talk with all the people into the team. Well, I need to show my grid. Let me show my UI first, and now I have to fix this problem. Not a problem for real. I need to click twice, and now I got that. It's hug. That should be fill container. Cool. Yeah, auto layout. Fill container here too. Fill container. You see? If you have some doubt, you can just click here and show the color that was hide. Now we can see that the size is correct. Hide the grid. When I go to hide the grid, I click here in the screen, and then I hide just like this. Okay, now we are almost finishing our tutorial. It's taking too long, but I'm really liking to make it. Yes, awesome app. We are going to copy the same information. We already fixed it here, right? But we had some trouble. But here, yeah, the text is okay over here. We are sorry, but we had some trouble. Verify that and try again. Let's see. Yes, because we have more space here, I think so. Let me show. Yes, it's okay here. Perfect. 2 lines. Yeah, no worry. Cool. And so, yeah, we are going to copy from here because things are all set. We paste here, auto layout, right? And we delete like this. It's cool. Really cool. Content. But see, here we have content into content. So we remove one of them like this, Control Shift G like this. And here, let me see, content, text, title. Yes, here it's okay. Yeah. So now we have this placeholder that is serving its proposal, but now it's time to change, to replace the placeholder by the illustration. So I will select both of them, auto layout, Shift A. We are using 8 pixels grid, 40, it's the right size. Call this content to adjust according to the illustration that is coming, right? Here it's content. I can change to text, for example. Here it's gonna be, no, I already have a text. I'm gonna read content, text. Yes, let's see, content, then placeholder, text, text. Here I can remove here. We have to remove the redundancy. Yes, text. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, just cluttering, organizing the house, aligning horizontally by actually vertically by center. Vertically by center. It's a good practice. Cool. And now let's use our illustration. So open it here. We have placeholder, square. We can type like illustration. So it will be fine like this. And then let's try to use this. They are out of order, but it's not a problem. But the illustration is too big. Let's make this illustration fit into the grid, right? Fill container. But I didn't apply the constraint here. See, I have to chain it here, and then I go view container. Not yet, actually. Yeah, I have to go to the master. And here in the master, we need to, let's see what we could do. I want to make it still flexible, right? But with some constraints. Yeah. No. Yes, I will let it the way it is here. I will apply. Let me see. Let me change square image illustration. Yeah. I will click. Let me see the way I can do 344 by 156. Yes, I will press and hold Shift. I will click and I will move this way. That works too. I will show my columns over here, but the point is, if I want to make my illustration even smaller, so I press and hold Shift here, I can chain it here to constrain, but it won't constrain because there are some flexible ways. I did that before, so we go like this, Shift and move like this, so I make the illustration smaller, right? It's more beautiful. I click out, I click in twice, and then I change it here. See, it will go to the center. Then I select and I centralize vertically again. Cool. Let me hide the columns. In the future, I will show you more about illustrations and components, illustrations as components and so. But for a while, it's pretty okay. Trust me, pretty okay. Awesome note. We can do like this. Auto width, like you learned it before. We copy things from. Where is the button? Ah, the button is here. We copy things from here. We see, we click once, paste, move up, select this one here, and delete. We don't need anymore. This label, it will be, let me see, try again. I will copy from here. You need to type. I'm sorry guys, you need to type because I typed it before. I will select it here. I will align by center. Let's try again. And now I can delete all this information and I can place some information that is ready to be used. I paste it here and I copy the button from here, select this content and I place like this. Let me see the distance. It's not the same one. 23. It's wrong here. It's all wrong. I don't know why. 24. It's okay now. Let me see here. 40 is okay. The first one. The second one. 24. No. 24. Ah, I got you. I will remove. Control Shift G. Now I can see. 16, center, 16. I got 2 here too. No, it's okay here. 40, too much. Maybe 24. I don't know. Have to test. It seems okay. Let's see here. 14, 16, that should be here. 20. Why is that? 24. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. And here 24. from here to here, 24. Is that right? I think so. If that isn't, you know how to do things properly. So it's important to keep the 8 pixels grid, right? So 24 here, and here that should be 16. Yeah. $16, $24. Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, see what we did so far. It seems cool. And now it's time to duplicate all those pages. We can duplicate from here, or we can go here and use the templates from the scratch. We could even make these templates become a full component. It's cool too, right? You decide the way you prefer to use it. Now we have to change. No notes yet. The text, it's different. No notes yet. I can type it all over the place. YouTube. See, it's easier once that you start doing things the way the things should be. It's gonna be easier to replace them ahead. It's gonna be add note. Now we need to centralize vertically, centralize vertically, too. And now it's time to replace the illustration. Let's open it here. Not connection, not generic. You can try generic too, but see what happened. Let me see if you no. It's a case because I didn't constrain the illustrations the way I should, so we need to to go to the master, and here in the master, let me try to constrain over here, maybe. Select all of them, and then I will constrain all of them together like this. Now let me come back. If I select the component in question, I can return exactly to the instance I was before. Didn't work yet. Illustration generic properties. Let's see. Auto layout grid, auto layout. Maybe. Yes. In some part of this, I should constrain it better. Not here, not here. Layout grid, auto layout. No. Let me see. Constrain it to scale together. No variant, not at all. No generic one. Properties. Variant boolean text, no. Auto layout, no. Layout grid, no. Fill, no. So yes, my intention here, that is to, yes, the focus on the illustration. So let's take this size, right? 120, 173. So when we insert, we can adjust like this. 120. Then we do this. 173. Now we constrain, and then when we scale, no, it's still not so right because that's flexible, in the, yes, I know the problem. The problem is this: when we come here, see, we did this too flexible. We should constrain it here too, but I won't do that really. I will keep the way it is because I want to use that more flexible, and it's possible to even to choose as illustration. So press and hold shift, then we can diminish like this, pressing and holding shift. All right, what did I do? Let me come back here. We kill something like this, like I was telling you before. You can copy from here. We can paste here, like this, move things up. Then we go like this way, we can go like this way. I have to tell you, I didn't like at first what we were doing in relation to this little icon illustration, whatever. But now that I'm looking at that, I think that I like. Yeah. Well, I could go, for example, if I'm working in a team, right, that I have to present my work, I could even present one more option. For example, in this case it's resolved. I like this one here, like oops. But we could go like trying to present one more idea. Sometimes the ideas, they are welcome, sometimes they aren't, because we have to think a lot of what we need to accomplish. But sometimes this is cool. Fixed. I'm gonna go to the master, and then I have here, it's broken. I can even fix it. Can go like this, for example. And then here 166, I think so. So 240166. Let me return to the instance. 240166. 240, that was constrained, and now I constrain because it's proportional, and then I diminish its size like this. But it's important to have the same height. For example, 107, it's cool. So now it's constrained. I can come here 107 and things will be right. Then I can align by the center again, like this. And I'm gonna copy from here, click here twice, paste it here, go up using your keyboard and go like this, click twice and align by center. Align by center here too. This one by center and this one by center too. And this is cool. Okay, so we could even make this idea, this ideation to this part here too. I won't do that. I was just demonstrating you, but you can present like, oh, I have a couple of ideas. Let me show you team. Let me show you stakeholder. We can go this way with some cute illustration, trying to show the user. For example, this one here is cool, but it doesn't bring a lot of information. It explains to the user like what's happening, but the user is frustrated because, oh shit, something wrong, and how can I solve this? This one here is cool because the user will be like, oh, it's cute, you know. The user is upset, but then when the user sees the illustration, the user will be a little happier. But I don't have any button to help me to solve that problem. For example, here I don't have illustration. It's too straight, too polite, but without any pleasant moment. And here it's complete, so some idea. Here it's kind similar, right? And here too. Then let's talk about states. It's not applicable here, right? Because we are not talking about flows. It is static pages, let's say this way, and flow is not applicable to. And with this last part, we finished our tutorial. I thank you guys for being here so far. I really appreciate your company. I'm happy being those tutorials. I have to say that all the time because it's been good to me. I hope that it's been good for you too, for me, for you, for everyone that's watching my YouTube videos, my tutorials. And yes, if you have some doubt, some comment, some suggestion, feel free. I'm open to have conversation and to be in touch with you guys. Thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.